button right there, the back one, so you know it's recording. So now they can see what we're doing.
It's too bad.
So now we got to hold up in front where they can look at it.
Yeah.
So this is a clutch pedal stop nut that we made because you don't have one on this bike. So
It's too bad we didn't do this when you had the...
we got the clutch adjusted or tightened back up. And see, you can zoom in on that so you can see what I'm talking about a little better. You just have to move the camera around a little bit.
Oh, it's pretty fantastic.
So the clutch actually fell off because the nut came loose that holds everything on. So we put that back on, fixed the other little problem in there. And now we're adjusting our clutch pedal with the cable here. So you got to be pointing where my finger's at, right there. And then we're fixing the pedal, rocker pedal. So you got to zoom out so you can see the pedal. So we're going to fix this so we can adjust it correctly. So he didn't have any stop on this before. He had the footboard real low, and this thing would go way further than it should have been. And he didn't have a stop on it. So I don't have any stops here at the shop. I got them at home, so I just made one. So basically, this is just a 3/8 nut that screws onto our stud here that holds the pedal on it. We have the nut out here so we can tighten it, and then this round part is where the pedal comes down and hits against it as a stop. So you got a fixed stopping location. I thought that screwed on there better before. There we go. See, it didn't want to go on, so I was doing it wrong. And that was a good nut. All right, so now we got that where it goes on. Of course, now see, now the footboard's in the way that we moved it, see? That's why you had it lowered. So you thought it was for some other reason. It was just so you get to the nut. So now it's back like a regular bike. We got to use a box wrench or an open end wrench to get in here. Move that up a little bit. Okay. Hear that hard stop? See, now we got a hard stop down there. So when you adjust it, you'd be good, and we're not hitting against the footboard like some people do it too. And so that's how we adjust it now. Now right now we got some free play.
Yeah, that doesn't have the car keys on it. It's enough to stay.
Not yet, because we haven't.
Yeah, but it's staying in place though. That's.
Okay, let me see the camera for a second. Yep. Okay, so we're over here on our clutch pedal side. And right now we have this much free play in it, which is still quite a bit of free play. Usually you only run about 3/8 of an inch. Right now we got a good 1/2 inch. But before, this thing was actually coming out to about here. You just had a couple inches of free play at least in this thing. So at least now this will keep the cable from completely coming off up here and falling out.
Now, in order to shorten up that, you just take up on the cable, right?
Well, we adjust the cable clevis right up in
In
here,
other words, it takes some of that free play out.
and we adjust it down here
Yeah, but I mean, right now,
to adjust the pedal to where it works comfortably for you.
you got the pedal adjusted,
Well, I can.
but now the only difference would be if you want to take up some of the free play, you
Well, there's
loosen
actually
that up and screw that.
there's an angle over here. I don't have my book right here to go look at it, but there's a fulcrum over here that you got to keep this working in the correct fulcrum area. So I think the book actually gives you a dimension of where this is supposed to be, because you hit on the throwout bearing down inside in here, and we can't see what it is right now because it's buried behind the cover. But right now, I think we need to adjust this out a little bit further than this because we're going over center.
In other words, give it a little more slop.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to be, ideally when you're at midpoint where it's 90 degrees to your bearing, that should be at the midpoint of your travel. So you go just over center to get maximum stroke. Right now, I think we're probably maybe pretty close to being on center, so we're going off center. Before you were the other way, you were way over here, so you barely even got to center. But you only get maximum stroke, and the most mechanical advantage you use, so the easiest working pedal is when you're at 90 degrees.
Right.
Anything either way, it goes downhill. So there's a number in here that gives you that adjustment. You also got to make sure you clear your spring there, your brake switch, which you're pretty close to it, but just clears. Of course, all of this stuff is loose because it's worn out. But that's okay. It's a Harley. It's supposed to be worn out. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this over here slightly. So why don't you come over here and hold this camera.